everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here for day number 10 of junkjournaljuly, and stripped back is our theme today. So I struggled a little bit with this one. I've thought about a few different things, and I had a bunch of weird ideas in my head to use tape for stripping away layers of things. But then I just sort of settled on something that I want to try that I really enjoy doing. So I've got this great big book called Perils et Aventures, and it is a big French book, and it's falling apart. It's huge, and look at that gorgeous page though, right? It's so pretty. So one thing I love doing is making swatches, paint swatches for you get a watercolor palette and you make a swatch. Just take a moment to enjoy these beautiful pages. I don't know when this book is from, but what I'm looking for is, see this nice frame that these pages have? I want to get one of these out of here. And actually, I think I'll probably end up doing 4 of these pages, but I'm only going to do 1 in the video, I think. Unless I get a little wild here and want to make a longer video. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter. I just want text. I don't want pictures for what I'm doing. These pages are so thick. I thought that was 2 pages. So, there we go. Okay, there's 4 pages of Mr. Big Lovely Book here. So these are the kind of books that I just hoard in the background and I take these bits and bobs out of when I need them. I cannot find anywhere my painter's tape, which is stressing me out. But I'm going to use masking tape. And I don't know if it's going to work as well. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of stick it a little to my hand to make it a little less sticky, because masking tape, it's more sticky than painter's tape, and I really need painter's tape for this, but I'm gonna have to settle because this is what we do. So experimentation here. So I said I like to do paint swatches. Okay, so my intention for this is I want to make pages that have cool text in the background, this beautiful border, and some uncharacteristic paint swatches that involve one dirty paintbrush and as many colors out of a bin of paint that I have that I really want to use up because they're somewhat ancient. So here's what I'm going to try to do. Whoops. The sticker is sticking to me. Get this out of my way. I'm going to just try to do like a typical kind of grid, but I'm going to make it a little more freeform. Now, I guess if I should just stick this down and see how is this going to lift. Not bad at all. Yay. Okay, sweet. Okay, so that's one. I'll go here. Just kind of de-sticking it a little bit. And I'm not super pressing this down. I'm just take my time. I'm sorry if you can hear a bunch of stomping. My kids are having an ice cream party upstairs, basically. Okay, so then this will be my first line. And the nice thing with using text paper is that I can use the text to keep my tape straight. And that's kind of great. I can also count the lines, 5 lines, to try to have the same distance in there. Roughly. Then I think I will just maybe do 2 across. So we'll have like 15 squares here. And that last one's going to be a little thinner. That's okay. Dog is now whining to go outside, but he has to wait for the ice cream party. This is what goes on when you have dogs and toddlers. It's calamity. Hopefully he's not too loud. He's a beagle, so he's extremely loud. Okay, so now we have our 15 bits of texty space to paint. And then I'm going to open up my paint to the very first of these colors that I really need to use up, and the first is leaf green. So I'm just gonna go like a little wild and use my paint brush directly in here. Now normally you'd be like, what are you doing? You're supposed to do one of these per square. Well, these are actually going to be weird fun swatch spaces, so don't worry. Also, don't worry if some of this lifts up. I think because we're doing an experiment, it's okay. So there's the leaf green. And I just kind of think I should hurry because I don't know how sticky this might get. So that's my intention. Next we're going to go with some metallic antique copper. This is from a big bunch of paint that I got at a yard sale last summer, and my magpie ways, I was like, ooh, paint. I need paint, clearly. Yeah. I don't need paint. I didn't need paint at the time. I already have a whole container of paint, but you know. Oh, what's this one doing? Okay. Alright, we can get a bit on there. The blue. Okay. Some interesting blending. Oh, there we go. Blue. Okay, so I think for the purposes of this, that is kind of a fun paint blend. I'm going to just go in with the rest of the blue here. Okay, and then I'll just wipe the rest of this on here. Now, let's try doing this stripping and see what happens. Oh, I think it's going to be bad news bears. Oh, geez. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna try anyways. I had like low hope for this because I was like, this is not, you know, painter's tape. Masking tape is a whole other ball game here. So let's see what happens. Let's just strip away. Okay, now the top here. Oh my goodness. Okay, that worked. That worked. Also, maybe the tape is the best part of this. Let's just bear with this process, okay? So let's try taking the top layer here. don't think this one's encumbered by any other tape across. No, it's okay. Okay. We'll see what happens. Okay. So the bottom worked a little better. You know what I think? It might be okay. Like, I like what I'm left with. I really do. I've got one little spot that I see that, or maybe two, that, you know, it's a little damaged here. Let's stick that down. And here. Let's stick that down. So, my initial plan for what I wanted to use these for were actually signature pages, because I like using swatches for pages. But that being said, one second. Sorry, I had to pause for 2 seconds. I just wanted to see. I had this thought in mind. I know where my painter's tape is, and it's here. I have this one, but it's really thick, so we might do an experiment. So the takeaway of this, okay, so number one, I think my big problem was, first of all, that the tape was too sticky, but I think I started to pull the under layer before the top layer when I was over here, because it got easier over here. So in fact, this may work. What I like is the color blend. Totally love it. I'm going to try again with this. Okay. This is just going to be one of those videos that I don't do it the perfect way the first time, okay? So bear with me. Let's try this. This tape feels a little less sticky, so that's good. But it's really thick. I'm trying to think of a way. I use a blade to trim this. I think it's just going to probably be too crooked. But how does it rip? And what is the length that I need? Let's see. Out here. Okay, so this is the length I need. So I need 2 of those, 4 of those actually, 4 of those. So we'll go 1, 2. Actually, I only need 2, I think. There might be something to be learned here. You never know. You never know what happens in my studio here. Okay, so these are, this is how wide? 1 inch and like just about 1.5 inches. It's the tick right before 1.5 inches. Okie dokie then. You know what? I'm not going to meddle with perfection. This is my plan. When you have thick tape and you want thin tape, this is what you do. Okay. Just going to eyeball this and not stress. Alright, so that will handle the one way across. Let's get this out of the way. Grab another sheet of paper. And yes, I know that these are wider than their friends over here, but I'm okay with that. And I'll show you why. Okay, so I'm going to use the wide ones here at the edge, because it's not going to matter that they're wider. what I want to do is line this right up to the text. I'll use the natural edge, not my torn edge, to keep the line a little straighter. And then here, use the thin ones in the middle. Okay. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. And I need these to be not long, roughly. Okay. One, which is actually 2. 4. And 6. Call that extra so I can make them roughly similar. Okay, so we have 5 strips now, plus 1 chunkier strip. Now, we'll come back to the paper here. Now let's remember, this is the top layer, okay? We remove this one first. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And then I'll lay that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of 5, we'll go 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then I need that last chunky one for the end. I gapped to remember that I would need to cap the end here, and I'll do that right there. Okay. What's gonna happen this time? Let me get my paint. I'm going to start with this yellow. This is not even open. I'll give it a shake. That needs another shake. Okay. Still have a little green on the brush from that last bit of paint, which is fine. Okay, let's find another color. What's this? Metallic peridot. That's awesome. Ooh, yes, I love that color. Wow. This is folk art paint. I liked the metallic of the antique copper on the last one. Here's hoping this one just has a better time of it than the other one. But I'm going to use that other one. I'm going to use it for something. I find the ripping kind of charming, to be honest. Let's go in with some of this purple. This is metallic amethyst. I think metallic paints overall just kind of make this a little more interesting as a technique. I'm going to just clean the brush off a little here. Let's go in with the purple. Who says you can't mix purple and green? So I used 3 colors last time. Do I want another color on here? Let's use Old Ivy. Ooh, it's a chunky one. It's a chunky looking paint. Can we enter the bottle without... Old paint. Oh, but it's nice. Okay. And I think I just want to go back in with a little titch of yellow. Whoa, that's not little. And then I'm going to be saying, I want to go in with more purple because now I've got this yellow nightmare going on. But it's okay. All right. What I might do, first of all, is get rid of this painty paper that I'm holding on to. And I'm just going to like lay a book page on here for a second. And remove this paint, a little bit of it, for collage fodder, just because it's really thick and I want some of the text still to show. I'm going to do that one more time. Yeah, that's more what I'm looking for. Use that piece again. Didn't really have a lot of paint on it. That's good. It also kind of gets rid of the brush strokes. You don't want the... Just press a little harder if you want to sort of get rid of the brush strokes and pick up a little more paint. See? It gives it a nice texture. But acrylic paint does dry kind of quick, so you might end up with a little bit of ripping, tearing there. Let's just go over that once more. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Are you crossing your fingers? What about your toes? Let's cross everything. Okay. Here we go. Oh, we're getting a little teary. This is just old paper. So, you know, the transition between tape and paper can be a little difficult, but that wasn't bad. And I think if I go slower, it'll be even better. Let me just try. Also, the other thing, when you're painting like a room, I find if you do like this, it can work, but maybe not. Let's try from the opposite end. Okay, yeah, this is a lot better with the painter's tape, as I'd expected. We did get a little tear up here, but like, it's not a big deal, and it's still in the grid, right? So, all good. Hoping I don't tear up the whole border. A little bit's okay, but it's just because this is old paper. If you want better success, use less of an old paper. I just wanted to do this experiment because I like using old paper. Okay, it seems like maybe... never mind. I was thinking pulling away from me was less rippy. What if we really truly go slow? Okay, going slow does work. You just have to have patience. Oh, maybe it doesn't work. I don't care if it rips out there because I'm not using this area of the paper anyways. Okay, these ones seem worse. I guess because it's thicker paper, or tape rather. But it didn't annihilate my border, so I'm okay. And I don't mind that it looks a little torn in age. That's actually kind of cool. All things considered, I think if you did this on newer paper, you wouldn't have any of the problems that I'm running into. This is very old, cottony kind of paper. And in some ways, I feel kind of like I do sort of like the torn, stripped kind of feel to it. All right. Yeah, that's very cool. I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah, so I will let this dry. I might do a couple more and then I'm going to make something with these. So these are all dried up now and I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest. I think that I love the color blends. They're fun. Now, this is my latest digital doll collection. I cut out last night. And this is called Belle, Vert, and it's all these green ladies and some sort of like little plant bits that go along with them. And this is on my Etsy. If you're seeing this video, it has launched today. If you're interested in these, they're just these kind of little serene feeling ladies, and I think they're great for like green journal, green witch, green garden. This one is sort of all together as a scene. And then her, and you can cut the plants away from her, but I chose to leave them, and a few extra plants and her. So what I want to do, I think, is use these as backgrounds for this collection, because these will make fun pieces. So first, I think what I'll do is I'll just get rid of this extra border that I left on this one. Okay, perfect. And then we need to think about the size that we want these things to be. So I think I want one like so. And then these ones, I think I will bring in half. Yeah. And then I might need just a thinner selection of tags with these, because I tend to make some pretty thick things sometimes. And then this one I'm going to leave it as is. Actually, how do I want to do this? I just need to straighten this one edge, I think. Okay, that's good. Alright, so now we have our basic shapes for what we want. Then I will need, I'll back these after off camera, but let me just grab some things. So I need some more scraps. this bit of plastic bag too. This was from paint that I put inside a plastic bag and smooshed around, and then let it dry. Yeah, that's cool. Some stitched together papers. There we go. Just gotta get a selection of scraps to work with here. So let's start with her. I think I would like her there. Maybe that tag's a little small for her. Let's see. Oh, I like her on this one. Yeah, pretty simple background too. Like, I don't feel like I need to overcomplicate a whole lot. What I'm going to do though is just a little ink on the white edging. Yeah, that's fun. Then, do I want to put a little bit of this behind? I don't want to like completely lose all that paint. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. The joy of trying to glue a doily. Alright, let's get rid of this gluey paper. Put this back down. There we go. Okay. Then I'll glue the back of this. This be a backing. Yeah, I think so. I think it just fits. Nice. Perfect. I think I like that little bit of green left back there, but I just want to trim at the corner here of the front paper. That way we get that little bit of backing also at the top of the tag. There we go. Then I'll go around the edge with a bit of ink here. Oops, this doily wants to misbehave. Okay. That's fun, right? I probably stitch around it with a bit of brown. So maybe what I'll do now is I'll work on a few more pieces. I'll have the camera sped up a little bit and play a bit of music, and we'll talk soon. So this has been a fun little making adventure, and I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. I've stitched around them with some brown thread, and yeah, I love the paint. Like the metallic in the background is really nice, and I kind of love the stripped away, texture. I think, funny enough, that's the part maybe that I like the most about this, is the softness, and like hopefully you can see up close how worn these are. Like, they're softened because of the tape stripping away, which I didn't necessarily even intend, but I really love it. It's like a very subtle texture. And that's the fun thing about doing these kind of projects, is that, like, you know, you experiment and you don't necessarily know what's going to happen. And yeah, so I'm happy with this little ephemera collection that I've got now for my journals. And if you're interested in these green girls, this is now in my Etsy shop. The collection is called Belle, Vert. And yeah, that's it for me for today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.